Tonight, the first massive snowstorm of the season set to impact nearly 60 million Americans. The monster storm turning roads into ice rinks, cars skidding off a highway. Kansas City's airport shut down. The Kansas City Chiefs delayed in getting to their game for hours. Multiple states now under blizzard warnings. Some areas will get their biggest snowfall in years.
Probably our biggest test in nearly a decade.
We're tracking the very latest forecast. The video of the New Orleans attacker saying he had joined ISIS as we get new details on his travels in the Middle East. Plus, today's emotional prayer service for those lost. And the victim just identified why his loss is heartbreaking for Britain's royal family. The final goodbye begins. The funeral procession for former President Jimmy Carter, starting a journey from his home in Plains, Georgia. Supporters lining the streets, saluting. The major airline fined by the government for chronically delayed flights. Other airlines now being investigated. What it means for your next trip. And the honors of a lifetime. The towering figures celebrated at the White House today. Denzel Washington, Magic Johnson, Michael J. Fox, and more. The award they all received today.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening. I'm Kate Snow in for Jose tonight. And the biggest snowstorm so far this season has already begun. Some cities are set to get the most snowfall they have seen in more than a decade. You can see the highway chaos the storm is already creating with ice coating roads across the Central Plains. But before this storm is over, more than half of the states in the country will feel the impact. The extreme weather spreading across some 1,500 miles, putting nearly 60 million Americans at risk. We are already seeing a mad rush for supplies at stores in Kansas and Missouri, leading to those empty shelves. The storm is just getting started, but it is set to push east over the next 2 days. We'll get to the forecast in just a moment. But first, to Maggie Vespa in Kansas City, where it has already begun.
Tonight, a brutal winter system wreaking havoc and stunning video of a semi-truck jackknifing and sliding off an icy Kansas highway coated with freezing rain. Facebook video showing another semi already off the road. And watch as this black SUV slides across a median. Another driver narrowly dodging it. By mid-afternoon, Kansas authorities clocked close to 50 crashes, nearly half with injuries. Troopers pleading with people to stay off the roads.
Watch my feet. You ready for this? That's what we're dealing with out here.
The mayhem caused by a monster winter system already slamming Utah and South Dakota and now barreling east. Tonight, 57 million Americans are under winter storm alerts as parts of the Midwest brace for up to 16 inches of snow and temperatures 25 degrees below average. By Monday, the system set to slam the East Coast, including upstate New York, already buried by lake effect snow. In Kansas City, people are stocking up on shovels and supplies.
Snowmageddon, Snow My God.
This as Missouri's Department of Transportation calls this their biggest storm in nearly a decade.
What's that like to go to bed tonight expecting that tomorrow?
I don't know if I'll be doing much sleep tonight.
Snow My God is the quote of the night, Maggie, in Kansas City right now. And the icy conditions there, I know, caused problems for the Kansas City Chiefs trying to get to their game.
Yeah, Kate, that's right. The Chiefs couldn't take off for Denver to play the Broncos tomorrow because the airport was shut down. But good news tonight, just in the last hour, city officials tweeted those runways are back open. Kate.
Maggie Vespa, thank you. Let's get right to NBC News meteorologist Angie Lassman. Angie, this is just the beginning of some potentially dangerous weather.
We've got multiple days of this winter storm, Kate, and multiple impacts. Right now, we see some of those snow showers over parts of the Central Plains. But as we get into the overnight hours, that snow, that rain, the freezing rain, all going to expand. We'll even see these blizzard-like conditions continuing with 40-mile-per-hour winds across parts of the Central Plains. Tomorrow, it's a line of thunderstorms with the potential for strong winds and tornadoes. We'll also see parts of I-70, St. Louis, Cincinnati dealing with that heavy snow and more of that ice accumulation across that same region. By Monday, this works to the mid-Atlantic. We'll see significant snow and ice in that region as well. The accumulation's impressive in some spots, up to 3/4 of an inch for localized amounts south of I-70, but the heaviest snow sticks right along I-70, 8 to 14 inches possible when this is all said and done in Kansas City, Kate. Multiple inches in Washington, D.C., too.
All right, Angie Lassman, thank you for that. We are learning more tonight about the man authorities say is responsible for killing 14 people during that New Year's Day truck attack in New Orleans. That includes a video that he left for his family saying that he had joined ISIS. Kathy Park reports from New Orleans.
Tonight, a city shattered by an act of terror, united in grief.
New Orleans is the strongest city in this country.
Faith leaders and New Orleans officials honoring the 14 lives lost on New Year's Day when an ISIS-inspired Army veteran rammed his truck into a crowd of revelers on Bourbon Street.
The goal of the service this morning is to bring healing to our people. You can't have a community without faith.
The profile of the man authorities say committed the attack, Shamsuddin Jabbar, is coming into sharper focus. A senior law enforcement official briefed on the matter, confirming to NBC News in a video recording made by Jabbar on his drive from Houston to New Orleans, he says in a message to his own family, "I wanted you to know that I joined ISIS earlier this year, and I don't want you to think I spared you willingly." And the FBI now releasing new details about its investigation, that it recovered a transmitter from the truck in the attack intended to trigger 2 IEDs placed on Bourbon Street, hidden within coolers. The ATF determining that Jabbar set a fire at a short-term rental in the area in an effort to destroy it and any other evidence. Jabbar's brother telling NBC Houston affiliate KPRC that the man who he called Sham took a trip to Egypt for an extended period of time, that he told his family he planned on moving either to Egypt or Morocco because it was cheaper. And tonight, while several of those injured New Year's morning remain hospitalized, the coroner's office released the identities of more victims, including Edward Pettifer, a 31-year-old British man, the stepson of Prince William and Prince Harry's former nanny. William posting on X, "Our thoughts and prayers remain with the Pettifer family and all those innocent people who have been tragically impacted by this horrific attack."
My note just says love is the answer. Love is always the answer.
Now on New Orleans' Bourbon Street, growing memorials and tributes to the lives cut short. Right alongside the more traditional revelry the Strip is known for. And from city officials, a promise to protect the public.
We will make sure that we harden our target areas, that we get what we need to, again, to be safe as we move towards continuing to host major events in the city of New Orleans, as we always do.
And Kathy Park joins me now from New Orleans. Kathy, President Biden is set to head there on Monday to pay tribute to those lives lost, but there were also tributes right where you are.
Kate, that's right. You'll notice here 14 hand-painted crosses representing the 14 killed. It's right next to a growing memorial where we are seeing candles and flowers, all part of a vigil happening tonight. Kate?
All right, Kathy Park, thank you. To Georgia now, and the beginning of the final goodbye for former President Jimmy Carter. Memorial services started today with an emotional motorcade through his hometown in rural Georgia, and then a family memorial service in Atlanta. Priya Sridhar is there.
Tonight, a powerful service in Atlanta for former President Jimmy Carter. The culmination of a day-long funeral procession. It began early in the morning. The president's remains carried by former and current Secret Service agents from the Carter Protective Division to a waiting hearse, as a crowd of onlookers watched silently. From there, with agents walking alongside part of the way, a procession to the peanut farm in Plains, Georgia, where the president grew up. Mourners gathering along the way.
We lost a great American and a great person today.
National Park Service, attention.
At the farm, National Park Service workers standing at attention. Then, a salute.
Present arms.
And then the ringing of a historic bell. "39 times for the 39th president." The motorcade making its way to Atlanta. One poignant moment, a firefighter on a ladder above the freeway saluting the procession, an American flag flying below. With a stop at the Georgia State Capitol, where Carter once served as governor.
Ceremonial at ease.
The final stop for the day, the Carter Center, where family held a private ceremony, Chip Carter paying tribute to his father.
He was an amazing man, and he was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman. And the two of them together changed the world. And it was an amazing thing to watch from so close.
An emotional ceremony celebrating Carter's life in his home state as the nation prepares to mourn his passing.
And Priya joins us now from outside the Carter Center. And President Carter will lie in repose there until Tuesday, right?
That's right, Kate. Then the casket will be flown to Washington, D.C. to lie in state in the Capitol building before the national funeral service on Thursday. Kate?
Priya Sridhar for us. Priya, thank you. At the White House, President Biden awarded the nation's highest civilian honor, to the Presidential Medal of Freedom, to more than a dozen politicians, philanthropists, and cultural icons today. Aaron Gilchrist was there.
Tonight, 19 new recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. A class of athletes, actors, politicos, scientists, and cultural icons.
You feed the hungry, you give hope to those who are hurting, and you craft the signs and sounds, our movements and our memories.
A lengthy standing ovation for Hillary Clinton. The former First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State applauded as the first major party female nominee for president. Biden also praising chef and humanitarian Jose Andres, his World Central Kitchen soldiering into war zones and communities devastated by natural disasters to help people in dire need. And a powerful moment with Michael J. Fox. Fighting the ravages of Parkinson's disease, the star of TV and film taking to the stage as an advocate for Parkinson's research and development.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to George W. Romney.
An emotional former Senator Mitt Romney accepting the honor for his father, a former Michigan governor and auto industry executive. President Biden also celebrating the basketball career, business acumen, and community activism of Magic Johnson. Magic helping Biden easily drape his medal despite their 9-inch height difference. And a suave Denzel Washington, lauded as one of the greatest actors of our time, marking the moment with a long embrace for Biden, who's bestowing his last round of medals just days before the end of his presidency.
And I'm grateful for the work you'll inspire for generations to follow.
Aaron Gilchrist, NBC News, Washington.
Aaron, thank you. And don't miss Meet the Press tomorrow when Kristen Welker interviews the new Senate Majority Leader, Republican John Thune, and Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer. Still ahead tonight, the multi-million-dollar fine that one airline was ordered to pay after too many flights were chronically delayed. And new concerns about the flu, what the CDC is saying about a surge in ER visits. We're back with a new multi-million-dollar fine for JetBlue over chronically delayed flights. It's the first time the Department of Transportation has ever fined an airline for delays. Emily Aketa has more.
Flight delays are a headache just about every traveler has endured.
Your heart kind of sinks and you start to calculate, I'm losing money, I'm losing time, this vacation is precious anyway.
And now the Department of Transportation says it's had enough, hitting JetBlue this week with a $2 million fine.
This is pretty significant in the fact that the DOT has never penalized an airline for what it is calling chronic delays.
The unprecedented move comes after a DOT investigation found JetBlue operated 4 chronically delayed flights on the East Coast, arriving more than 30 minutes late, more than half the time, for at least 5 straight months. The fine, in part, will go towards compensating JetBlue passengers already impacted and those who see flight cancellations and lengthy delays in the year to come.
It's a stress and inconvenience. It should be compensated, definitely.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says the action puts the entire airline industry on notice as investigations into other companies for the same issue take off. All of this part of the Biden administration's broader crackdown on airlines amid record travel. But JetBlue says half of the blame lies with the U.S. government, urging the incoming administration to prioritize modernizing outdated ATC technology and addressing chronic air traffic controllers' staffing shortages.
We definitely know there are pain points, but there is no telling which pain points this new incoming administration is going to address.
Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
Good news tonight about the special way this doctor has helped thousands of babies start their lives. There is good news tonight about starting young lives off right, and the doctor who delivers so much more than just babies.
So today is your birthday.
It was a birthday celebration unlike any other.
That's your mother and that's your father. They're the foundation to your whole life.
Powerful words from the doctor who just delivered baby Giannis Baker, some of the first words he would hear.
I need you to know that you're that link in an unbroken chain that goes all the way back to your forefathers.
His parents, Sonisha and George, taking in the precious moment and singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Dr. Richard Bridgewater, an OBGYN at Memorial Hospital Miramar in Florida, makes a habit of giving affirmations.
This is the lady who gave you everything. You are 100% blessing. You are prayed over and you're precious.
Why do you do this?
I look at my life and I have been so blessed. I had the affirmation of a good mother and a father who always told me my value, always told me that I could.
An empowering message he's paid forward to every baby he's brought into this world.
I've delivered about 5,000 babies.
Wait, 5,000 babies? Have you made videos 5,000 times?
As long as once the technology became available, yes, I've been doing videos for them. I'm going to lead you into your destiny, into your mother and father's arm, so you can have a beautiful life.
Every affirmation is slightly different.
You're born into the perfect family.
But all have certain unifying themes.
I love holding them and saying, this is you. The world will never be the same now that you're here. And I honestly believe everyone can change the world. Happy birthday to you.
The result, a timeless treasure.
When Giannis is like 16 years old, like we can pull this video up and show it to him.
So you're very special.
As he's speaking, I can see in your face you're feeling things. What were you feeling?
I felt blessed. I felt heard. I felt important to him.
You will change the world. We deliver roughly 4 million babies a year in this country. If the majority of them heard good words when they were born, I think the world would be different. I honestly believe so.
Everyone can change the world. That is NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Hallie Jackson will be with you tomorrow night. I'm Kate Snow. For all of us here at NBC News, stay safe. Have a great night.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.